Hey guys, how's everyone doing today? Well, this is going to be a long video, and I want to put credit out there to the Duchess of North Sussex for directing me to this person's Twitter account. And I found some interesting clips that they've been doing in Twitter space, just commenting basically on the Megxit community. They recently done an interview with Voldemort. And I want to play some of the clips and give my opinion. And I'm not happy, but you'll hear as the video goes on. My language obviously gets worse. So let's get into this.
Number one, actually the headstones are the most visited tourist attraction in the UK. There's no human there for thousands of years.
Which just goes to prove that people are more interested in the history rather than the people living there today, because the people that live there today are not. I'm not saying they aren't, but they're not proper kings and queens, if you know what I mean.
No.
They reign, they don't rule, so they don't have stories that are compelling. The Queen's the most compelling thing about the most compelling thing about the Queen. The most that anyone is going to be able to say about her, if we're perfectly honest, is that she hung around for a really long time and she didn't say very much. And, she managed to just hang around for a long time and get into too much trouble, which typically isn't what, the kings and queens of history are best known for. My voice is annoying me at the moment.
Yeah, your voice is so annoying me as well. Okay, bitch, let's get into a little history lesson here. Because, as you say, we want a queen that doesn't say very much. And Queen Elizabeth isn't just known for hanging around for a long time. And the difference between reigning and ruling is very, very, very clear. We want to have a reigning monarch and not a ruler. A ruler is technically a fucking dictator. Is that what you want? You want a dictator? And since the 12th century, 1215 to be precise, we've had a reigning monarch, not a ruling monarch. This isn't just a new concept, idiot. We've had a reigning monarch. And from 1688, we have had a constitutional monarch. We don't want an absolute monarch. We just don't. They're no better than dictators. And I'll read this passage out so it remains in your dipshit head. The monarch reigns as head of state of the United Kingdom and countries of the Commonwealth, but does not rule over them, as that wouldn't be democratic. The reason we have a monarch like Queen Elizabeth and those who came before her is so we don't end up with fucking dictators running our country like they have in China, like they have in North Korea. It's not a new system that's just been put in place when Queen Elizabeth started her reign. And this is why Queen Elizabeth, as you say, doesn't open her mouth, because she's not a fucking dictator. She's not there to tell us what to do. And to say that she's done nothing, absolutely, she's done nothing. Have you ever heard of a term called soft power? That's something that Queen Elizabeth is a master at. She's a master at diplomatic relations. She's also doesn't just sit around doing nothing. I could put up tons and tons of instances on here, but I know you guys can easily go online and look up this for yourself. Also, you guys have been following the royal family for as long as that. Yeah, so you guys know that this is just bullshit. Queen Elizabeth also served in the army during World War II. So for this bitch to say she's done nothing, okay, just be glad the Queen does keep her mouth shut. Be glad the Queen doesn't say anything, because that's what she's there for. She's there to keep the government in check. She's there to make sure they don't overstep the line. She's not there to tell us what to do. That's what a dictator is, you fucking idiot. Be glad that we have a constitutional monarchy and a queen that isn't opening her mouth and bossing her subjects around. Nobody wants that. Nobody.
And that was the first of many. Even just talking about it, it's so depressing because, when you're trying to do your job, and this is my job, and you got folks that know that they're doing something that's wrong. And all my company does is just expose what these people are doing, right? That's all my company does. We don't suspend people. We don't go out and arrest people or anything of that nature. All we do is report on what's happening, period. We provide ample proof, and people can look at the data and they can interpret it how they want to. But at the end of the day, this is what we do. So when you're attacking someone or attacking their family or, making comments about my deceased mother, it's like why? You know what you're doing. This is what you do. We expose what you're doing. Why do we need to go to this, this personal level?
While I don't think it's right that anybody should be attacking Voldemort's deceased mum, I think that's fucking vile. He's an absolute hypocrite here. A hypocrite. He's basically saying anybody that contradicts anything to do with the Sugars' fave, Meghan and Harry, they know they're doing something wrong. So nobody else is allowed to have an opinion about Meghan and Harry if the Sugars don't like it. No one's allowed to call them out when they're doing anything wrong. No, in that case, we're a bunch of fucking bullies. But that's not all that just pissed me off what he said here. The fucking hypocrite had the cheek to say, attacking people are attacking him. While I don't think that's right, that anybody should go for families or anything like that, you fucking hypocrite, Voldemort. You, online, have done this to numerous people. You've went after people's families. You've found out their private information. You've doxed them. You've put up personal photographs of people. I've seen you do it. I've seen you do it to that umbrella guy. You've done it to Sue. You go for the most disgusting, vile, lowest blows that you can, and you've got the cheek to sit there as if you're the fucking victim? Give me a break. Give me a fucking break. You're the victim? Really? Really, Voldemort? For you to sit there and say that people know it's wrong that they're attacking you makes me realise that you also know that it's wrong to attack people. So why the fuck do you do it? Why do you do it? And most of the time, you do it without any provocation. Sue has never went after you. Gertie never went after you. The umbrella guy never went after you. All they were doing is reporting on people that you seem to have a fucking hard-on for. Umbrella guy was reporting on Amber Heard. You had to make a big song and dance about that. He's making all this money. Put his real name out there. Put his real picture out there. Called them those vile names. Sue's never attacked you, but you had to put her personal information out there. Her husband's name, her job, where she lived, and even her autistic son. And you're sitting there saying you're so butthurt that folk are attacking your family. Gertie's never done anything to you, but you felt it necessary to go on Twitter and attack her looks. That's what you call a hypocrite, Voldemort. Maybe practice what you preach, you fucking asshole.
Folks. But yes, that has come at a cost. All of this has started, look, over the years, right? Doing this type of work, I've had death threats in the past. I've had folks try to dox me and things like that. And it's part of, unfortunately, this business. That's the main reason why I don't have, my family interacting with me. That's the main reason why I don't talk about volunteers who volunteer for Bouzy or employees at Bouzy. I try to protect everyone. So I'm the face of it. I take all the hits. Everybody else is protected. But when we started researching this stuff and I announced it, I mean, it pretty much started instantly, with the attacks. And then over time, it gradually increased.
It's part and parcel of the course, Voldemort. We know when we're doing public work, you're going to get threats off of people. It shouldn't happen, but it does. Unfortunately, it does. As for doxing people, again, fucking hypocrite. Hypocrite. With a capital H. Dox people. You've had people try to dox you. You've done it to tons of people. You have done it to tons of people. And then you're saying about keeping your family privates to protect them. Well, what about the fact that the people who you have attacked, whose families are private people? What about the people that you attack who want to keep their family private? Do they not get afforded the same luxury? Is it only got to be you? And it's been you that's put that information out there. So you're sitting there whining like a bitch that you've got to protect and hide your family, but you're perfectly fine with attacking other people's families who want to remain private. People know when they do this that they're going to get some pushback and some hate from people that don't like what they're saying. But their family never signed up for this. Their family aren't out doing this. But you've went to that length where you actually have attacked people's families. So don't sit there and whine to me about folk doxing you, threatening you, or getting at your family. Because you are just as fucking bad, if not worse. I don't know any member of the community that I don't personally know, but the community that I've kind of got to know that I've ever in fact says anything disgusting, disturbing about people's families. I've never seen it. But I tell you what I have seen. I've seen the Sugars and I've seen you go to the most depraved lengths. The most depraved lengths to try and get people off the internet. You feel like if you put their private information out there, if you make known their family, so their family ends up not only the person that maybe creates videos or has a large Twitter following, not only they get attacked, but their family. And you figure if they can go after their family, folk will get scared and then they'll shut up. And many people do, because they don't want their family getting abused. They don't want their family being hassled by deranged loons like the fucking Sugars. So don't talk to me about that. Absolute bullshit. I also want to say that I should have said this in the other clip. Your company isn't out there to... I've looked it up. That's not what your company is meant to be for. It's not meant to be out there to expose people and go after people for certain things. Your company is meant to track bots. You're not the fucking internet police, even though you think you are.
I do believe the majority of these folks that are in these groups, they're racist. And I think a black man being responsible for taking down their YouTube channel or their Twitter account or whatever the case is, or these stories that are coming out and that are being published about them, they're not happy about that. So when I did announce this, that we're going to look into this stuff and we're doing the research, I mean, they started coming after me as like they do with everyone else, right? Posting stuff about me, and that's just normal, right? That's par for the course. But then it started to escalate. They started, putting out personal information, documents, things of that nature, and that's when it started becoming concerning for us, because it's just like we didn't even. And this is before we published the report, mind you. This is, the report could have said, "Hey, there is nothing happening with Meghan Markle and Harry, and this is all just in people's imagination. This is not really happening. But it started before that. As if they knew what they were doing and that we would discover it, so they started to attack my credibility.
I was wondering when you were going to pull the race card. Voldemort, people aren't coming after you because you're a black man. People are calling you out because of the tactics that you use. People are, in fact, many people are scared to actually call you out because of the lengths you go to. Because of the lengths you go to attack people's families. The lengths that you go to put information out there that people want to be kept private. This isn't... People aren't saying anything to you and bringing things into light because it's personal. It's not personal. This isn't personal at all. You're the one that's made it personal. Because you're the one that started putting information out there about people's families. You put that umbrella guy's work out there. You put his real picture out there. He hadn't done anything wrong. All he had done was report on the Amber Heard Johnny Depp case, which we all know that you were involved with. But if you had any sort of credibility, because we know that Amber Heard hired you, why weren't you brought in as an expert witness for the stand? I know why. You weren't brought in because it was a credibility issue, because Johnny Depp's lawyers would have looked into your past and would have ripped you apart. And her team knew that. Her team knew that as soon as they brought you in, his lawyers would have dismantled you piece by piece. They hired you and paid you to find out, as you say, if there was negativity about Amber online. Now, the guy that they brought in as an expert witness, he came in with fucking hashtags. Hashtag Justice for Johnny Depp. Hashtag Amber Turd. If you have been, in which you claim that you write these detailed reports and you can track all these accounts and blah, 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 blah. If you had been a great, credible expert witness for them, they would have used you. And so why didn't they? And it's like I just said, they didn't use you because they could have brought the defamation case up. They could have brought background stuff up. They could have brought tweets up from that's been put out by your Twitter of you attacking people just for their views because they happen not to worship at the feet of the likes of fucking Meghan Markle, Amber Heard, Kamala Harris. That's why you weren't brought in. So the fact that you're even on there attacking the umbrella guy, when Amber Heard's team didn't even bother to use you, is laughable to me. Laughable. And people, I don't think that's clicked with the umbrella guy or anyone that covers Amber Heard stuff. Because I wish that it had. I wish they'd put two and two together and thought to themselves, why wasn't Voldemort brought in as an expert witness? And it's easy if you just look back and look a little into you, and I didn't even have to look far. They would have found scamming allegations. They would have found that black card Bitcoin scamming allegations. They would have found eviction allegations. They would have found the defamation allegations. They would have found those weird tweets, and I don't like to ever bring people's families into this, but there is weird tweets about out there. I don't know if they're real or not, but they're there. And Johnny Depp would have used them. And I wish to God that Amber's team had used you to see you fucking dismantled in that witness box. Because it would have been the highlight of my year. The highlight, maybe one of the top 10 of my life, I bet, maybe. But they didn't use you because they knew exactly what I'm thinking. That you're a fucking liability. That's not me saying that. You just have to go by who they used as witnesses. Because again, we know they hired you. Just saying. Okay guys, I'll be back. I've got a part 2 of this because there's tons of recordings and this is already 20 odd minutes long. But the next video will give you the laugh of your life at some of the things this idiot and the Sugars have to say, because Voldemort isn't the only one I have the clips of. No, unfortunately he's not. But I'll be back. I'll be back with part 2 in a little while. Okay, bye.